On the 75th anniversary of the Dalai Lama's ascension, the Central Tibetan Administration hosted a grand commemoration to mark the 75th anniversary of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama's assumption of spiritual and temporal leadership of Tibet. The ceremony saw the Dalai Lama and dignitaries, former officials, hundreds of Tibetans and supporters. The event opened with symbolic offerings, who presented, among other things, a mandala along with sacred representations of the Buddha's speech, mind. Alumni representatives from Tibetan schools across India and Nepal also joined in the ceremonial offerings. Statements from the Kashak and the Tibetan Parliament in exile recalled his efforts to negotiate peace during the early years of the Tibet-China conflict. The introduction of the middle way approach and his democratic reforms for the Tibetan community in exile. All the speakers paid special tribute to the Dalai Lama's lifelong commitment to education. The 14th Dalai Lama was born in 1935. He was recognized as the incarnation of the 13th Dalai Lama in 1937, enthroned in 1940, and vested with full powers as the head of state in 1950. He fled to exile in India in 1959, the year of the unsuccessful revolt by Tibetans against the communist Chinese forces. The Dalai Lama set up a government in exile in India's Dharamshala. In 1989, he was awarded the Nobel Prize for Peace in recognition of his non-violent campaign to end Chinese domination of Tibet. He has traveled the world offering talks on peace, non-violence, interreligious understanding and compassion. He has written a number of books on Tibetan Buddhism, Buddhism and science, and an autobiography, as well as numerous other short essays. Now the question of the 14th Dalai Lama's succession in light of long-standing tensions between the Tibetan Buddhist authorities and the Chinese government's insistence on approving the successors has become a point of acrimonious debate between the Tibetan and Chinese camps. In 2007, the Chinese government passed a law declaring that determining the reincarnations of Tibetan lamas would be conducted in a traditional manner, but with the oversight of Chinese officials. According to the law, China would have the final say over Tibetan Buddhist lamas' reincarnations, and officials prohibited anyone outside, including the 14th Dalai Lama, from having any involvement in appointing a new Dalai Lama. And on the 2nd of July 2025, 4 days prior to his 90th birthday, the 14th Dalai Lama publicly affirmed that his lineage of leaders would basically continue after his physical death, which means there will be a 15th Dalai Lama. But Tibetans fear China will eventually name a rival successor to the Dalai Lama.
To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.